各位线上的好朋友，大家好，欢迎收看全民开讲拨乱反正守尊严护人权系列论坛。联合国自成立以来，保护人权、维护世界正义安全一直是联合国的重要目标和指导原则。在联合国宪章誓言表达人类的决心，每一个国家、每一位世界公民如果决心不要让现代的我们及后代的子孙重蹈20世纪人类2度经历的悲惨战祸，我们就必须坚守良心，守护基本人权、人性尊严与价值的信念。唯有以爱为出发点，人人守护良心，不分性别、种族、位阶、国别及宗教信仰，皆相互尊重与包容，才能真正实现正义、平等、自由，实现我们想要的美好未来。国际人权泰斗、联合国 NGO 世界公民总会主席 Dr. Rene Wadlow 等人权学者专家，在许多国际会议不断说明台湾政府对太极门的人权侵犯。这些人权学者专家都呼吁，过去台湾民主自由人权形象在全球得到非常多的友谊与支持，如果台湾政府继续忽视太极门的人权迫害问题，让台湾民主人权形象崩解，将不利国际支持。
On behalf of the citizens of the world, I welcome the strong efforts of the Taiwanese to uphold the liberty of conscience and belief, and their work for a just and open taxation system. Today, there is a worldwide erosion of religious freedom, which is causing suffering and grave injustice. Because it is a worldwide problem, we must be concerned with all positive efforts, not just those in the country in which we live. Thus, non-governmental organizations in consultative status with the United Nations have been concerned with the太极门 Qigong Academy case, even if Taiwan is not a member of the United Nations. The太极门case has two aspects. One, of the defense of religious and spiritual liberty, and two, the fair and transparent tax procedures. This lengthy tax issue has taken time and energy from the太极门 Qigong Academy members, which could have been better spent on the high aims for which it was founded in 1966, the defense and promotion of high Chinese culture.太极门has been very active in cultural exchanges with other countries, so that many people have learned of the rich cultural life and heritage of Taiwan. The太极门issue has been much discussed in Taiwan, in the media, in the parliament, in law courts, and in public hearings. The issues are clear, and we appeal that the tax issue can be settled in a just and open way as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.
I will propose to you 4 statements, and please listen to them, they are important. Statement number 1, all the international scholars and human rights experts who have studied the太极門case are friends of Taiwan and support Taiwan. Stating publicly that you are a friend of Taiwan is not easy. So when we say we are friends of Taiwan, we mean it. And those who doubt it are offending us. Statement number 2, as friends of Taiwan, we care about the international image of Taiwan. It is impossible to support Taiwan as a beacon of democracy and human rights if at the same time There are people in the streets of Taiwan protesting that their human rights have been violated. Statement number 3. The international image of Taiwan will continue to suffer if the Taijimen case is not solved. There are thousands in the streets of Taiwan and now also in the United States protesting and claiming that Taiwan does not protect human rights and religious liberty. And there are dozens of scholars and human rights experts internationally who complained about the Taijimen case in events every month. Not solving the Taijimen case is the best gift Taiwan can make to its enemies. To borrow a famous sentence attributed to Lenin, the government is graciously supplying to its enemies the rope they will use to hang Taiwan. Statement number 4. The only possible solution is political. Make no mistake, at this stage the question is no longer whether the Taijimen deeds are right. Everybody agrees they are right. The tax bills for all years other than 92 were corrected to 0. Nothing different happened in 92 with respect to the other years, so taxing Taijimen for 92 is unfair and unjust. In reality, the government itself does not deny it. It says that for 92, the statute of limitation has expired, hence the tax bill and the enforcement cannot be revoked. Well, in democratic countries, there are provisions to rectify decisions that are obviously against justice and human rights, even after statutes of limitations have expired. 25 senior international scholars and human rights activists just wrote this month to President Tsai asking for a political solution of the Taijimen case. And on behalf of them, I solemnly reiterate this request today. President Tsai, please adopt a political solution and solve the Taijimen case. Thank you.
全世界都在看台湾政府怎么处理太极门案，国际人权学者专家都在讨论这个问题，他们以倍数快速传递讯息到全球顶尖的国际研讨会。国际的学者专家曾表示，台湾的政府以为把太极门案摆着不理，事情就会结束了，但是所有太极门弟子与全世界的所有学者都不会停止，会一直努力奋斗，直到案件解决为止，直到所有全世界的苦难结束为止。
Mr. Winter has now a special section on Taijimen and its case. So far, we have published more than 80 articles in that section, and this indicates the importance of this serious case. Why should the world bother for a domestic case of fiscal justice or injustice in Taiwan? The answer is quite simple and double-folded. Because the Taijimen case is essentially not a matter of mere fiscal justice, but of religious freedom and human rights. And so it is not only a domestic Taiwanese affair. Fiscal accusation is only an excuse to deny Taijimen, Shifu, and Dizi the first of their untouchable and undeniable human rights, religious liberty, which is not only the right to worship freely, but chiefly the right to live freely one's religion in everyday life. Thus, it is a political right, the first political right of the human being. In this way, what is happening to Taijimen becomes paradigmatic and stops to be a Taiwanese domestic affair to become an international concern. If justice is denied, if the government of a democratic country or some of its branches and officials turn taxes into a tool for repressing human rights and religious liberty, we are all in danger. It could happen anywhere, and it could happen to all of us. In this sense, we are all Taiji men now, and all of us should be concerned and engaged. Some people already are. On December 13th, a group of human rights activists and scholars decided to act in favor of Taiji men by writing directly to Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, President of the Republic of China. Bitter Winter has published their letter, which is all the more important because it comes from independent observers. I briefly quote from that letter. This drama, the signer says, is obviously detrimental to the hard-earned fame of Taiwan as a beacon of democracy and human rights in a region plagued by dictatorships. End of quote. Referring to the false tax evasion accusation and the government seizing of Taiji men property, the signers add, "It may seem that this is a battle about money, but in fact it is not. Taiji men has spent in legal fees alone in 25 years of struggles more than they would have paid had they settled with the National Taxation Bureau. It was for reason of conscience and justice that they refused to settle. By settling, they would have admitted that they had been guilty of tax evasions, something that it is against both their principles and factual truth." End of quote. Principles, truth, and acts of reparation are the key words of this important letter, and I am very proud to be one of the signers. So, Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, President of the Republic of China, the world is now watching you, expecting your answer.
I am sure that some of our readers wonder why we publish so often about a case where, after all, no blood was spilled and nobody died, while the world is full of people killed because of their faith. The World Day commemorating the destruction of the Buddhas of Bamiyan suggests the answer. No human being was killed when the Buddhas were destroyed, but history, tradition, memory, and respect for diversity were all killed on that tragic day. In Taiwan, we at Bitter Winter saw at work Taliban of the National Tax Bureau or Taliban of the Administrative Enforcement Agency. They also expressed their intolerance by attacking a visual symbol of freedom and diversity, land they confiscated that was intended for a Taiji men self-cultivation center. Our extensive coverage of a tax incident may seem unprecedented, but in fact it is a 25-year-long persecution of a peaceful spiritual movement and the massive discriminatory use of taxes as a tool of discrimination that is unprecedented in a democratic country such as Taiwan. The Taiji men case is internationally exemplary and important, and yes, we plan to continue our campaign about it. Our voice will not be silenced until the voice of justice will speak and solve the case.
政府一直标榜说要转型正义，但对太极门师徒成千上万的家庭而言，延宕超过1/4个世纪的凌迟与折磨是根本没有人权与正义。在此，诚心对小英政府提出严正呼吁，政府要落实转型正义，就要以法治与人权为依归，尽速解决太极门假案，纠正过去的错误，才能提升政府的国际人权形象，成为一个真正民主、人权至上的国家，人权才会是台湾最美的风景。感谢线上好朋友持续关心台湾人权问题，公民自觉方能拨乱反正，祝福大家平安健康，我们下次见。